was actually one of my teammates on my volleyball team, I believe, sophomore year of school when I was still at Durham. CrossFit was booming at this point. I think it was like
Rich Froning,
2016.
fittest man in the world. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
2016, 2017 were like, what's the what? Like CrossFit
yeah.
was everything. And her name was Megan, was actually on the USA team. And this girl's 4'11", I think, and like back squatting like 275.
Wow.
Just,
In high school?
yes,
Wow.
insane athlete. And I think she had a similar background. She was a gymnast and then she did volleyball, same idea. And then was like, I'm going into weightlifting. And I think it was seeing her, of someone with a similar build as me, with a similar background, just excelling in this sport. It was like, I kind of want to try it too. And her mom ended up being my coach.
Oh, that's amazing. And so
Mhm.
also I want to touch on the high school switching. I actually went to two high schools as well. And I think it had a profound impact on me. Being a new kid, it could challenge you, it can help you grow
Yeah.
as a person. Did you stay in the same home and just drive farther to this new school? And did your older sister go to both schools as well, or were you the
No,
first one to do this?
I was the first one in the small little town I'm from. It's so small that you'll see probably 3 to 5 generations of people going through. So, grandpa, great grandpa, they all lived in the same place. My parents, my mom went to Chico High. My dad went to PV, the rival school. They both went to Chico State. My grandma went to Chico State. And so I think that when I presented to them the idea of like, I don't want to be in Durham anymore, that they were like, okay. Like, my parents were so supportive and totally allowed me to make that switch. And so it was my mom really that helped me be like, yeah, go to Chico High, like not PV, due to my alma mater too, like Chico High. But it was definitely really strange because at Durham, you were going to school with these kids kindergarten through 10th grade. You knew them, you knew their parents, you knew their grandparents, you knew their dog died 2 years
Yeah.
ago. Like, every intricate detail you could think of, you knew. And that switch, I think, was one of the first times I was like, the bubble is bigger. The bubble we grow up in. Did you have that same
Oh,
feeling?
completely. Yeah. So I grew up in a town, Cary, Illinois.
Mm.
It's about an hour northwest Chicago, hour and a half southwest of Milwaukee.
Okay.
So only 20 minutes from the Wisconsin border. Really great town. Loved my
Mm-hmm.
childhood there. But same thing, went to the same I moved there when I was 2 years old, and so I went with the same kids all the way through junior year of high school, and then I
Yeah.
went to Ann Arbor, Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
where University of Michigan is. Huge town,
Mm-hmm.
very exciting culture, sports going on everywhere, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, wow, okay, these people I'm meeting for the first time, they don't know anything about me. I could be whoever I want." And I
Yeah.
really think
Yeah.
that freedom of moving around allows for you to be the best version of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you're still around the same people all the time, they will judge you if you take a risk with your character or a risk
Yeah.
with your personality and say, "Hey, maybe I want to be a different person. Maybe I want to be
Mm-hmm.
more studious or more athletic or more social or less social." And
Yeah.
you get judged so much in those small town environments. So I definitely empathize with you. And so when you were going through that transition from now going to Olympic lifting and then going into university,
Mm-hmm.
did you know at that age you wanted to dedicate your career to fitness, well-being,
Mm-hmm.
training? Or were you studying to do something else? When did that passion come out and say, "Hey, I know what I want to do. I want to be in the gym as much as possible, helping people and working on my own self"?
Mm-hmm. I think it really came, I knew I loved fitness. And so at 18, I was sponsored to become a CrossFit
Oh,
coach.
amazing.